I got qualified for this like camp, this what do they call it, accelerator program for women and stuff. It was like a very huge achievement for me. I got 10,000 euros. It really was around the time when I was not in the headspace. Like the same thing I said in the middle of my 10-year campaign. And I sat on a panel, which I do pretty often, and I spoke about me not being seen. And I kid you not, and it's so embarrassing. In the middle of the panel, I started ugly crying. Ugly cry. I was like, because I was just so frustrated. It was a very frustrating time. And let me tell you, like, it was in Barbados Beach, and Minister of Small Business was there, EU ambassador, and I'm just there, and everybody there rubbing my back, and I'm just like, oh, don't touch me, don't touch me. Like, the bad times. Boy, let me tell you, as an entrepreneur, you have a lot of them, you know. I think for me, one of the best pieces of advice I ever received was from Renu Gajada. And I tell that to people all the time. And he said to me, the bad times are your best times, because the bad times is when you start thinking out of the box. He told me so once, and I get it now. At the time I was like, well, I mean, madman. But I get it now. It's true, because when things slow down, I have to take a step back and I have to think, what can I do differently to pick things up. And I come up with all these little creative campaigns and come to member at 8:30 in the morning, first person to reach getting a gift, and people come in, they line up, people reaching there all after 7. You know, like little things like that. And I think that is how you weather it. You just have to keep thinking. Just don't get comfortable. That's the thing that we do that's a problem. We get comfortable. I mean, being an entrepreneur was never something that I considered doing. My father was a businessman. He had a charter company in it was good, but it continued on into a very tumultuous time, and I felt like it kind of scarred me, and I thought to myself, well, I could never do that, that risk of being an entrepreneur. I wanted, a set salary and that sort of thing, but I don't know, I mean, a lot of people know already. It started in Ethiopia. I was there, I was helping business women, I got inspired by them. There was a lot of, the leather industry, I wanted to be part of it, etc., etc. But I think, as much as I started it 10 years ago, I mean, the different stages I went into, from doing it part-time to doing it full-time, to going part-time again, and now really going headfirst into it, I feel like the real reason I got into it would be the reason why I got into it now. Not 10 years ago, but now, as in when I opened the atelier in 2016. And I think the main reason is that I want to leave a legacy. I want to leave a proper legacy of something that I built from the ground up for myself and for my family, so I can say, hey, I did this. I mean, as ridiculous and as simple as it sounds, you see when somebody comes through the door, particularly somebody who put in a custom order, and the reaction when they see the bag, when they see, they're like, that is my bag, that is what you did, and the joy on their face. Yo, you know how good you feel? You know how good you feel to know that you created something for somebody and they love it and they appreciate it so much? Listen, my previous job, I was a project manager, and I did a lot of huge projects here and overseas. Very important, life-changing project. And I don't even think I got that sort of overwhelming response and feeling of gratitude from people for doing something for them that I did then that I do now. And I think that is what I love about it. That's what I really love. Challenges. I don't think this video is long enough for me to talk about the various challenges that I face, but maybe access to greater markets would be the biggest challenge, because I mean, even if 90% of solution loved my stuff, at the end of the day, the market is so small. Like, to grow and to reach where I want to go, it would be so difficult. The biggest challenge is for me to capture an overseas market. I already have it with a lot of the diaspora people. But with my online store that I have, I just really want people to just go on it and shop and ship. That's what I want. And I've tried many things. I'm not too sure what else I need to do again that doesn't require like a whole ton of cash. But I think that's the biggest challenge is access to a greater market. I mean, previously, I would say my bigger challenge would be getting locals to buy into the whole buy local thing. But I think I've been very successful at convincing them That local can be good. That local can be great. Like when people talk about a membet, that's synonymous with other brands. Like, you know, the brand equity that I've been able to build with membet because of St. Lucian's being so supportive. Yeah, man, I can never fault them for that, you know? So previously maybe it would have been that local buying, but right now I have it, and I'm so grateful for that. Yeah? I'm really grateful for Lucian's to just really, you know, part of the membet train. Check it. Boy, I think realistically my biggest lesson is how to live on a lot less, because when you're an entrepreneur, the money not frequent, you know. When you're so used to a steady salary, moving from that to this, you know, October to like February, things are booming. When things get dead, especially now with no jazz, it is a struggle. But just, I guess, financial management and money management, and that comes with time and that comes with experience. That's nothing I can explain to anybody for them to get it. You just have to like experience it, hate it, and figure it out for yourself. I think that may be one of the biggest lessons I've learned. Just, you know, it's difficult, you know. It seems glamorous. I feel like Instagram has made entrepreneurship seem so glamorous, but yo, it's hard. It's a hard path. You have to love it. I think there's a certain level of naivety I had when I went into this, and I would probably tell my old self to manage your expectations better, because you see, when you're earning a salary and you're doing your vibe part-time, the money looks a lot bigger than it actually is. When you lose that steady salary and that big money that you thought you were making on the side is your only money, it's not that big at all. And that was a big shock factor for me. I think for one thing, I probably would have made sure I curbed all my debt before I jumped in head first, and probably have a better strategic plan for how I wanted things to move. I really took it for granted, the reach and the impact that membet had at the time. I mean, it seemed big, but when that's all there is for me, it was not as big as I thought. Another issue, a lot of things, like I mean, I have big dreams all the time, and I think a lot of things that I tried to do made me like I buzzed too early. Like I went viral on Instagram and I barely had a website. I had zero capacity. I was voted top 5 black-owned handbag brands and I barely had a website. Like these are the things that I pushed myself into, but I didn't even have like a website for people to be like, okay, let me follow her, let me purchase. So I didn't plan it properly. So have a better plan, put the steps in place. I mean, 10 years later, now alone I have a proper website. Imagine like a proper website I can look at and say, that's a nice website. So I think that's what I'll tell my old self, you know, plan it better and curb that debt. Pay off your car loan, pay off your credit card, pay off all of these things before you jump into that. Trust me. Let me tell you, business is a solution not for small businesses. I don't think there's any small business who would disagree with me on that. I mean, access to finance, being able to get the finance to scale and to grow, getting, you know, financial institutions to buy into your ideas, the concessions. I mean, it is tough. It is tough with the landscape, and the enabling environment is not really set up for us to thrive despite what they try to do. And that's the reality of it. You have to be very creative in getting stuff done. You also really have to work together. Small businesses have to work together because there's a lot that we can do with each other that will allow all of us to grow, that I feel like we are not doing enough of. Because I mean, it's one thing we want the government to do certain things for us, but certain things that we can do for ourselves that I think that will be very beneficial for us. But you have to have some thick skin, you know, to do business in St. Lucia. But on another note, you see, when you're thriving, they love it, you know. They will talk about you, they will big you up when you're thriving. But, you know, not all the time they had a hand in where you are today. But when you reach, they are very fast to jump on your bandwagon. I'm not going to say who they are. Just leave that there. What inspires me? You know, St. Lucia inspires me, eh? Lucians inspire me. Like, I want to do something to make everybody proud of me. I want to do something to put St. Lucia on the map. You know, when Lucians do something good, one thing, we big them up. We big up our Nobel laureates, we big up Darren Sammy. I would love for Lucians to be able to big me up because maybe I did something that, you know, is beneficial for all of us and puts us on the map. We're an amazing island. We have so much talent, an abundance of talented, intelligent people. We just don't have the access that we need for people to see it. So I'm inspired by, wanting to, make everybody proud of me, make my family proud of me, make my people proud of me. And I'm inspired by our culture, by the colors, by the people, by the personalities. I'm inspired by, I suppose, life. I'm inspired by life in that I want to live my life in my truth, in the way that makes me happy, and the way that I can actually do something for people. All of the time. When the bank calls because my mortgage late, I'm like, boy, if I was still in my 9 to 5, paid after already. All of the time. I think that's a natural reaction. I try my best to, live in gratitude and be gracious that I'm still here 10 years later and I can still do this. But I'm only human. And my close friends could tell you, like, when was it? End of August this year, 2019, in the middle of my whole 10-year anniversary celebrations, I was telling my friends, I'm done with this. I finish it up. I go to Virginia, I go move and be with my husband, I don't come, I finish. That's where my headspace was, August of this year. It happens to me all the time until I take a step back and I regroup and I think, a little meditation, and then strategize to see how I can improve. And then, of course, the better times come. Je ne Noël starts, Christmas starts, independence, and then things get better. And then I'm like, hey, this is not so bad after all. Like when my kids want something and I can't give it to them, because my finances are not what they used to be, my lifestyle is not the same. And simple little things, I'll be like, boy, Morgany help you, boy, not right now, but they're good kids, and I think they understand, okay, now is not the time. So now that it's Christmas, it's a good time, and I can, be able to, treat them to something nice. But they understand, and that's all the times when the regret comes, when I just feel like, I can't. What I doing to my children? Yeah, I'm a bright girl, project manager. I can go on island scholar. I can go and get a job. I just they're making bags, but nah. Coming to work will take that out of my head sometimes. I have really amazing staff, and then we have so much fun here. And I have to think to myself, boy, would you have had so much fun sitting in a desk job than you do here? When all my friends come and see me at the atelier, and who bring a Heineken for me, and we talk, who come and buy a bag and be like, oh my God, you're so talented, and this is so amazing, I'm gonna bring this overseas. These are the type of things that help curb the regret. But the regret, it's there sometimes. It is what it is. But let me tell you, you see 2020, my eyes on a bigger prize there, and full speed ahead, tapping into that foreign market. That is me for 2020. I need people to see me. I need to be seen. That's always my biggest issue, I'm not being seen as much as I would like. So for 2020, I think I'm gonna embark on a different type of strategy to try. I feel like I've done all what I can and need to do locally. So I'm gonna, really jump on a campaign to try and target outside of St. Lucia, the US, Colombia. I see as a good potential market for me as well, Latin America, and the region, certain islands, Barbados, Tortola, growing Tortola and stuff. So I think that's it. And I also want to diversify my products as well. I make bags. Like I said, my Colombian friend was like, you're a designer, just design. So I want to have things in the store for everybody. I want anybody who walks in to pick up something. I don't want them to be like, okay, well, I just came to see. I want them to, always have stuff they can buy. So more men's stuff for sure, kids stuff for sure, more original prints as well. The prints are nice and everything, but I think there's a nicer added edge when it's an original print. So working with more artists. See, like I spoke about earlier, the collaboration between local people. So collaborate with more artists to come up with local prints, do real proper Lucian things, and take that overseas, take that foreign, let people see that, yeah, boy, Lucia, we have nice stuff. So that is me for 2020. Let me tell you, I'm giving 2020 the biggest push of my life, because I really need it. I can't continue the way I am now. I can, I just don't want to. I need to grow more, and it needs to happen. It will happen in 2020. It will. Yeah.